My friends, in our lifetime, we often hear a very familiar phrase that is used to describe many people that are around us, or even people in the faith, and that is this: people are hungry in today's day and age. People are hungry. And when we talk about the hunger of humanity, we oftentimes immediately, in a spiritual sense, talk about not the hunger that we have for physical food, but the hunger that we have for the truth, for the person of Jesus Christ, for His touch, for the hope and the promise of salvation. And we oftentimes think about hunger as something that we eat several times a day. We need physical food, but we oftentimes don't believe that the need for spiritual food or the touch of Jesus is not proportionately different than that of physical food. And the need of His touch and the need of His person is as built within us and is as natural to us as humans as our need for physical food. And so hearing of His promises, knowing that we need Him in our incompleteness, even daily, or even His gift of the Eucharist, the gift of His person who comforts us, is something that we ourselves know is a huge characteristic in part of our human life. As C.S. Lewis put it very recently, within the last 100 years or so, God made us to run on Himself. And that is why it makes no sense to talk about happiness apart from the person of Jesus Himself. Or as Augustine used in the 4th century, our hearts are restless until they rest in You. Today we get the sense of how hungry the people are, even during the times of Jeremiah. The ministers and the shepherds that were there to serve the people were failing, and God, who knew His people were hungry, wanted them to act in a way in which His people would be fed. We hear Paul talk about in the second reading, about how God feeds and brings close and near through His own blood. And of course, we see in that moment when Christ promises rest to His apostles, and we want to see that rest happen. We see the hunger of the people make them go to great lengths, and they go and they beat the apostles and Jesus to the place of rest. And here is what's very key. For how much we rest, for how much we would like to rest, for how much we want to be fulfilled, for how much we hunger, Christ never fails to sacrifice even His own time, His own person, even the intimate time that He would have with His apostles. We see Him even on the cross ministering to a person in need, in the man next to Him. And today we conclude that for all the hunger that we have, and indeed we have very much, we live in a society that has much hunger. We are a people of faith that have much hunger. We know that Christ, and especially in the people of His ministers, in His priests, in His bishops, and His deacons, in His lay ministers, and the religious, He sends them forth, and He also comes Himself, so that we may not hunger, but know that we do run on Him, and that we will be filled when we ask for Him.